American warplanes attacked ISIS again overnight in Syria and Iraq. Airstrikes hit targets in eastern Syria and near the Iraqi city of Kirkuk. New video shows Wednesday's first attack on oil facilities that produce much of the terror. The groups in London this morning, Prime Minister David Cameron called for Britain to join the air war as part of a wider involvement.
Where we should be helping is with the aid, with the diplomacy, with the political pressure, and yes, with our unique military assets where they can help.
American intelligence is learning more about the key members of ISIS. Bob Orr is in Washington with new information on one of its most notorious figures. Bob, good morning.
Good morning. Well, for the first time on Thursday, the director of the FBI said investigators now have a name for the masked ISIS fighter who may have beheaded 2 American journalists and a British aid worker. Speaking to reporters, FBI Chief James Comey said, quote, "I believe we have identified him." He went on to say, "I'm not going to tell you who I believe it is." The man's appeared in 3 grim beheading videos standing behind James Foley, Sotloff and David Haines, each time wielding a knife and speaking in a British accent. Comey warned ISIS would strike the U.S. homeland if it could, but he said he worries more about that al-Qaeda-linked group, the Khorasan group. Khorasan, made up of al-Qaeda veterans, has recruited operatives, and we know they've experimented with undetectable bombs. Comey said when the U.S. launched airstrikes this week, Khorasan was working towards an attack. Officials didn't know how close Khorasan actually was to launching an operation, but in Comey's words, he said, "It's the kind of threat you have to operate under the assumption that it's tomorrow." The U.S. now has identified about 12 Americans who are still in Syria fighting with various terror organizations. More Americans, in fact, have already come home from Syria. Those people are currently under varying degrees of investigation and surveillance. Nora?
Okay, Bob, thank you so much.